So, I know why you guys clicked on the video. You guys want to know what I think about Game & Watch and whether or not they're carried. And I just want to emphasize one thing before I go into that, because I think this is something that people don't like to bring up when they talk about like players or characters carrying people. I think to an extent, every character in this game carries people in a certain way. I feel like you wouldn't play a character if they didn't, you know? So I guess let me just try to explain more about that, because I feel like that's something very important to like actually bring up. So you have characters that carry a neutral, like Sheik. You have characters that carry and just getting kills. Let's bring up Donkey Kong or something. You have characters that carry in recovery. You have characters that carry in ledge trapping. There are characters that carry in multiple ways. There's also, this is an interesting one that many people may not agree on, but I actually think that mid or lower tier characters carry people to an extent. I think that they can carry people in the sense that they'll get away with stuff because of lack of matchup experience. That is a thing. I think that's something that like a lot of like mid or lower tier characters hide behind. It's like, oh, well, I'm playing this low tier character, so I should be respected more. But no, I'm calling you out. I think you're carried. I think you're carried in that aspect. And like obviously, if the person knows the matchup, then that goes away. But I think there are a lot of people who don't actually know the matchup or just lack experience of it because there are less of that character. All right, so now, Game & Watch. Is he carried? Are players who play Game & Watch carried? Yes, to an extent, but like I said, I think every person who plays a character, to some extent, is carried. So now that's out of the way. I'll bring up a little bit on how I think Game & Watch players are carried. Oh, this is a rough matchup, actually. What? Okay, whatever. Auto reticle? Oh, they didn't do it. Why did they forward smash though? I don't get why they forward smash. They probably should have dash attacked. That's on them. This person's playing so weird. This person. Alright. So that was not a good example as to why Game Watch is carried, but let me try to explain a few things, because there are aspects that Game Watch I think are Game Watch players are carried in more than other characters, but then there are certain aspects that they're not carried in. Believe it or not, shocker. It's crazy. Like characters that can carry people in certain ways may not carry them in others. I think that like the clean, like the easy one is out of shoot options. Game & Watch has the best out of shoot option in the game. Up B, frame 3, so that's the fastest. The range on it's pretty big. That also helps them with the juggling, which Game & Watch is very good in. So yeah, they have really good out of shoot options. Game & Watch also has insane juggling. They have multiple ways to set up for the juggling, which, you know, through up B, which I mentioned earlier. They also have a really good grab. This is crazy. They have one of the best dash grabs. Look at Game & Watch's, go on Ultimate Frame Data and look at Game & Watch's grab range and then compare it to other characters' grab range. It's actually really big. It's crazy. So yeah, good grab range that sets up the juggling. Their nair is just good for juggling and comboing. You cannot land on top of this character. They also have really good and solid 2-framing options with their dash attack. Yeah, but like I said, I think there are some aspects that Game & Watch players are not carried in. So I do actually think that if you're competent in the matchup, like if you understand how to fight Game & Watch, it could be very difficult for Game & Watch to actually approach a neutral. A lot of his moves don't have super fast startup, or if they do, they don't start like directly in front of him. For example, Game & Watch's neutral air starts above him and then it ends up in front of him. So you kind of have that aspect to go with. So yeah, that's something that I think that people don't bring up enough when they're mentioning Game & Watch. It's not that easy to approach with the character. Like, he thrives on people jumping on top of him, but if you don't jump on top of him, it's just really difficult for him to do anything, in my opinion. Because he's gonna have to commit to a dash grab, and yes, his dash grab is good. It's still punishable. Like, if you know it's coming, you could avoid it. You could spot dodge it or something. Or he's gonna have to commit to dash attack, which his dash attack isn't, it's fast, but it's still punishable. Like you can avoid them. Like there are ways you can avoid him, and he's not a fast character. He's not just going to be immediately in your face like Fox or someone of that speed. So yeah, he struggles against characters who just don't jump into him as much. And for that reason, even though I beat the Palutena I played, I think Game & Watch struggles very heavily against Palutena, are just characters that can keep him out, which is why Zero Suit Samus does well against him, because Zero Suit Samus could literally just run away from him and use her zoning tools to keep him out, or her long-range attacks. And Swordy's just, yeah. Game & Watch struggles versus disjoints. That's something, and that's the crazy thing about it. There are a lot of disjoints in Ultimate. There are a lot of characters who have swords in Ultimate. We just got a new character who has a sword. The character before that, Steve, he has a sword. Speaking of Sephiroth and his sword, here we go. Oh, he jumped into it. Damn. He didn't realize he lost his jump. So, reminder, guys, if you see a circle below you and you get hit, that's most likely going to be your double jump. So, just keep that in mind. You get hit when there's a circle around you. You lost your double jump. Oh, there's something else I need to bring up too. So, Game & Watch has a frame 3 air dodge, and in case you don't know, that's like, I think the second worst air dodge you can have. I think the worst is frame 4, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be wrong. But what that means is that he's more susceptible to getting comboed than other characters. And yes, he has his up B, but his up B is literally the same frame as his air dodge. He's literally just gonna keep doing it. I was gonna say, can I bucket that? No, I forgot. I can't shield. That's annoying.
Nope. Nope.
Oof. Oh, that's something else I need to bring up. So, Game & Watch smash attacks, low cooldown, so obviously they're difficult to punish. But they have a lot of startup, so that's like the trade-off. But hold on. He can't come back. He can't come back. Yeah, I need to make sure he never touched the stage again. All right. So, anyways, Game & Watch's smash attacks. A lot of people don't like his smash attacks, like fighting against them, because it has so little cooldown, so it makes it more difficult to punish. But the trade-off to his smash attacks is that they have more startup. So the way that Game & Watch is going to be using his smash attacks is going to be to whiff punish you, or to like punish you for doing something like well ahead of time. So it's one of those options that Game & Watch is going to throw out if they feel like they have a lot of time to do something. But if you smother them, if you make it so that you attack before they push a button, or like if you think they're gonna throw out a smash attack, you can attack them before the hitbox comes out, and you know they hit you for it. You just have to be a bit more preemptive, which I guess that makes the character kind of it could make it kind of annoying to fight against. You also have to respect his up smash more so than normal, because his up smash has invincibility frames, which is absolutely insane. Up smash having invincibility frames makes it just really, really good. In case you guys don't know, there's a difference between a move being invincible and a move being invulnerable or intangible. Like, let's say there's a hitbox that's invulnerable, like on the arms or something. That means that you can't hit their arms because they're not there, like hurtbox wise, but you can hit any part of their body. But if you hit someone who has a hitbox that's invincible, it counts as you hitting them. So even if you hit their arms and then you go to like their body or something, you're like the hitbox is gonna be gone because you hit their hands. But with Game Watch, it's even more insane because his entire body is invincible when he does his up smash. Something else to bring up as to why people hate Game & Watch is that he doesn't have to change his plan that much, like transitioning from matchup to matchup. He can play most matchups pretty similarly because of how strong his flowchart is. So that can just make it frustrating. Like, no matter who you're playing against, he kind of just does the same thing, you know, juggles you, If you get near, if you touch him, touch his shield, he up Bs you. It's like with other characters, yeah, they played like the matchup similar too, but I feel like they have to change up what they do like a lot from matchup to matchup, but Game Watch doesn't as much. It helps out characters or players who are picking up the character, because typically what they do is okay, so typically when a player is picking up a character, they'll learn a flowchart, but then immediately after they'll run into matchups or they'll run into situations where they'll have to adjust their flowchart like bit by bit, and that kind of, you know, that teaches them new matchups and stuff like that. As Game & Watch, you don't need to do it as much. Like obviously, I'm not saying that you can play every matchup 100% the same, because you cannot, but the way he flowcharts, that was nice. The way he flowcharts changes very little, in my opinion, compared to other characters. So that just makes it even easier to learn and pick up the character. So that helps a lot, like in lower levels. So I feel like if you're a lower level player, you probably hate Game & Watch like even more, because like he literally could just do the same thing against the entire cast. Get out of here. Good lord. Oh, have I talked about the neutral B at the ledge? I have not talked about his neutral B. Yeah, so I mean, that's like another thing. It just makes ledge trapping more free in certain aspects. It makes ledge trapping and two framing like just pretty simplistic. So you just toss out attacks. And it can actually combo to things, so that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that just adds on to the two framing moves he has that are really good. So his dash attack is very active and makes it easy to two frame with. And he also has a pretty solid downer and backer. Like his hitbox are just very active. Oh, I guess something else to bring up is his side B, very RNG factor. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. It's just like a super RNG move. Obviously, if you get the 9, you can get an early kill, but if you don't, I mean, you can still get stuff off of it, but 9's definitely the one you want the most. And his down B, good for. It's actually surprising that his down B can reflect. It can reflect and also absorb stuff. So if you get the absorption, you have a really strong kill move depending on what you would absorb. His key, yeah, his key's pretty good. It's pretty disjointed. It actually helps him with landing, because you can like mix up your fall speed with it. It's one of those things though that I feel like becomes worse. It becomes worse the better you are at combating it. Because like the key has a considerable amount of startup, so you can somewhat react to him doing it. And then on top of that, it's pretty unsafe on shield. But again, that's like at higher levels. At low level, like you're probably not gonna see anyone punish it. So that just adds on to people hating the character and like, you know, people calling the players carry. Key is exceptionally good at edge guarding though. I'll say that. His key has a spike. The hitbox is very active, making it a good two framing move or just hitting below the edge. If you get the spike, then you know you can kill the opponent pretty early. But even at higher percents, if you don't get the spike and you stage spike someone, it's pretty like good at getting the impeccable stage spike on the opponent. I'm gonna down smash and do it again. All right, run up smash. Sick. Oh, I need to mention his bomb. Although I feel like his bomb is just like, it's not something you'll see people abuse that much at lower levels, but his bomb's actually crazy good. If you position the bomb correctly, you can actually make it, I think it can be positive on shield. Which, I mean, that's just crazy good. I mean, even if it's not positive, you can make it pretty safe on shield. Wow. Oh yeah, so again, like regarding his up B is good at getting out of stuff, but the reason why his up B is used as much as it is because his air dodge is literally the same frame as it. So, God, okay. So there's normally not a reason to air dodge out of stuff when you can just up B. But in return, like I said before, that makes it so that things that wouldn't work on characters that have 2-frame air dodges would work on him because his air dodge is frame 3. And you're dead. How do you edgeguard Game & Watch? Okay, so something else. Game & Watch actually has one of the easier moves to 2-frame in my opinion. I'm gonna go into training mode and just kind of show you guys, because I actually do think that that's like a pretty big downside to Game & Watch. His up B is actually, he grabs the ledge like higher than normal, and then on top of that, his up B has invulnerability frames, but typically near the end of it where you would up B to grab the edge, the invulnerability is not there, so you can hit him before he grabs it. In some cases, depending on your character. Okay, that looks silly. Okay, there we go. His ledge grab is pretty high, so that's his ledge grab right there. And then he's invulnerable. So, yeah. Like his ledge grab is higher than normal, so it's easier to 2-frame him than other characters because of that. Like even if your move doesn't like typically 2-frame, sometimes you can 2-frame Game & Watch with it. Let's answer this question. Are Game & Watch players carried? So the short answer is I think they are, more so at the lower level, but you can argue that with any character. Like I said before, I think every character is carried to an extent, but let me go over why I think at a lower level Game & Watch players are carried. I think that a lot of the aspects that people punish at higher levels, you're not going to punish at a lower level, so it just makes Game & Watch that much easier to abuse, because you're probably not going to know the frame data to actually punish certain attacks, so you're probably not going to be able to do that. You're probably not going to be fast enough to abuse like the startup time on his smash attacks, and because his smash attacks have such little end lag, it's going to be that much more difficult to punish too. And I also think lower level players jump a lot. They jump a lot, and Game & Watch players eat up jumps. So the fact that you're jumping a lot, you're just gonna catch him in the air a lot as Game & Watch, and he's just gonna be able to abuse his juggling and combos. And like I said before, Game & Watch's combos and like the things you do to play as Game & Watch don't change as much matchup wise. So he's just gonna be able to abuse a lot of the stuff across the board, and it's going to be hard for people to deal with or know how to deal with it at a lower level. Now at a top level, at like a high at a top level, I don't think Game & Watch players are as carried. I do think that they're still able to abuse the stuff that Game & Watch has. So like obviously frame 3 out of shield option is amazing. He has good juggling, and then like I said before, he still played the same. He can still play the same way. So I think that you have to struggle less to learn matchups. But I still do think that Game & Watch has a pretty difficult neutral compared to other characters that are like also top tier. So he can get walled out pretty easily because he doesn't have options that are just super good at just making him run in and stuff like that. On top of that, he's like not the fastest character. Like I'd say his mobility is like pretty solid, but if he faces someone who's faster than him, on top of the fact that he doesn't have good options to just run in, it's gonna be hard for him to like actually approach certain characters. And he's light, so he dies early. Oh yeah, he has good edge guarding, great edge guarding, good kill power. There's definitely stuff I'm missing to summarize, but I feel like I've done a good job of explaining stuff earlier. So yeah. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I also just want to point out that my reason behind making this video isn't to just say, you're Game & Watch player carried. No. Is to try to explain why I think they're able to abuse certain aspects of the game, but also I'm trying to bring up the flaws the character has and how he can also struggle. So I'm gonna say it again. Yes, they're carried, but I think every character in this game is carried to some extent, and they also struggle in certain aspects. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, please leave a like, please comment. Subscribe to my channel if you have not. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.